Greetings, world. Yeah, we're all seeing a lot of nasty stuff. Right now, it's about almost 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's the 10th of October, 2023, and yeah, we've got stuff to cover. And I'm gonna first go through some stuff and then get to the meat of the matter. Please remember, I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient psychic. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Form your own opinions. There's more to the world than just what is being broadcast on the American and international mainstream news services. Poke around to like other sites and listen. Hit the translate button. This is something everybody has to do. I've noticed that a lot of the video from Sunday has gotten a lot of views. So people, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's like the little red boots in the corner. Yes, this Saturday I will be doing a live broadcast at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's 7 p.m. London time. And I also want to invite this person, this keyboard warrior. They were under CO 1350 and now they're just under CO. And they keep making little comments. And then all of a sudden it's like, poof! They're no longer there under the video. But, keyboard warrior, I still get notifications via email that you're making these posts, making these comments. So yeah, I want to invite you on this Saturday's live broadcast. You have so much to comment about, so let's do it basically face-to-face over the computers. Okay? Yeah. Let's see if you show up. Or do you prefer to hide behind your keyboard because you don't want anybody to know? So CO, I hope to see you. 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. London time. You can figure out your time frame from there. Okay, I'm going to go through the non-stuff now, okay? And then I'll get back to the meat of the matter. Yes, our favorite Swede did inform everybody that the country of South Africa, their court system, judicial system, now has forced the government and one of the big pharmaceutical companies, Pfizer, into making public the contract that the South African Ministry of Health signed with the pharmaceutical company Pfizer pertaining to a certain whatchamacallit. Well, in that contract, it states, basically, it gives the pharmaceutical company immunity from liability should somebody get the whatchamacallit, and that person then develops all sorts of new health issues. So, yeah, the Ministry of Health in South Africa gave the pharmaceutical company complete immunity from liability in case somebody got something else from getting the whatchamacallit. So I'm wondering how many other countries worldwide gave pharmaceutical companies immunity from liability, and yet these governments were forcing this whatchamacallit into people's bodies. So the fact that South Africa has been forced to reveal the contract, that's the tip of the iceberg, and I hope other countries do the same. People, we've got to stand up and defend ourselves, especially when it comes to our health. Now, a lot of you know that in the past several weeks, yes, I've been keeping an eye on the country of Niger in the African continent. Well, now they are, France is pulling out the remnants of their military and governmental control in that country. And basically, Niger is saying, France, get out. We don't need your socialist crap butt EU nonsense in our country, so goodbye, get out of here. Now, in the Big Red Sea, I caught it. It was just a little blurb on the Reuters distribution thing. Yeah, they brought up the fact that there's another property development corporation out of the Big Red Sea called Country Gardens. Now remember, the Big Red Sea is a communist country, so the government owns everything. Nobody owns anything. So these big corporations are really a division of the CCP, the Big Red Sea's government system. Okay? Well, now it's being leaked out that this government department of the Big Red Sea called Country Gardens, they're allegedly a property development company. Well, they took out a lot of loans from banks worldwide, and I'm talking big money. So now it's being leaked out that Country Gardens may be defaulting on their debt payments to all the banks that are not a part of the Big Red Sea. So add this to their other property development division of government called Evergrande. The Big Red Sea is defaulting on loan payments, which may crash a lot of banks. And this, I get, is a deliberate maneuver. Because, yeah, they put out this stupid thing. They allowed Enza to fly into the windows of a lot of people's homes. A lot of people are now on that TUMI app buying stuff. The Big Red Sea is using different ways to manipulate people. And one way is through financial gains and losses. So the Big Red Sea came up with these two property development companies, Country Garden and Evergrande. They took out a lot of loans from a lot of non-Big Red Sea banks, and now they're going to default on these loans, which is detrimental to the banks that they took the money out of. Yeah, this is how they're doing such a financial. They're undercutting the European and American ways of life. Now, somebody I caught on Good Morning Britain today, it was John Cleese. Everybody remembers him from the old Monty Python TV show. Yeah, they did. It used to show decades ago on our public broadcasting channels, where we found Julia Child. Well, yeah, Monty Python used to come on after, it would be aired after Masterpiece Theater on Sunday nights. And a lot of times they kind of had to not show certain episodes because they were a little bit too risque for the American consumer. Yeah. Well, John Cleese was promoting the fact that, yeah, they're revamping and bringing back Faulty Towers, which is a hoot. And he also has a 10-part chat show series where he's talking to different people. And I guess the show is going to be called The Dinosaur Hour. And that's sort of a play on words because he's older than me. And he has a very wicked sense of humor. But he realizes that a lot of people around his age gap are considered dinosaurs out of touch with the woke reality. So I guess this chat show will be explaining the woke nonsense to people of his age, of his generation. Now, I think this is really a hoot in a handbasket because I do know that John Cleese, American Residence, is here in Illinois. I don't want to say what suburb it is, but it is in Lake County, which is the county directly north of Chicago. And Lake County is known for being extremely liberal. They vote blue no matter who. And big sections of Lake County are known as Jewish enclaves. Well, these enclaves of American Jews are the clueless ones who, through their blind complacency, would have ended up in a boxcar. So I think it's ironic that John Cleese is now putting together a talk show explaining the woke nonsense to people. Okay, now let's get down to what everybody is talking about. I think I put the link in my community page because I guess now they're, according to the YTTNCs, we can't put stuff in comments. But if you watch my video from Sunday, yes, I am very blunt and direct about a few things. And I don't sugarcoat. Well, last evening, I was doing stuff and I'm like, okay, I need something to listen to. And I saw that Amanda from Ark of Grace Ministries put out a video on the same topic as mine. Well, Amanda follows the New Testament, but she is also gifted with being clairvoyant and clairaudient also. But she doesn't use those terms like I do. She has the same gifts, but she manipulates her phraseology so that the followers of the New Testament don't go batshit crazy thinking she's a evil person. Oh, she's a fortune teller. Oh, she's wicked and she's this, she's a pagan. Yada yada yada. Amanda phrases it so the New Testament followers don't get their knickers in a twist. Her delivery is a lot more gentle than mine. So, yeah, yesterday was the 9th of October. Look for her video, Ark of Grace Ministries. It's ARK of Ministries, Amanda Grace. And, yeah, just, what I do, it says it's like over more than an hour, almost 2 hours. Just adjust your playback to 1.75 and it won't take as long to listen to what she has to say, but please do. Now, to get back what is going on like with North America and how it's connected to what's going on in a country that has a Mediterranean coastline. Yeah, first off, we need here in North America, we really need to keep our eyes and ears open because not only is the United States getting an influx of these wetbacks, but now certain countries are just dropping off plane loads of alleged refugees, alleged illegal immigrants into Canada. And these people are now using the very soft border between Canada and the United States to come into, they're avoiding the states west of the Mississippi River. And they can't really get into like Ohio and Michigan because they've got the Great Lakes. So they're coming into the U.S. through the state of New York, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont area, the New England, that eastern section of the border between United States and Canada. They're just basically, they can go for a walk in the woods and go from Canada into the U.S. And once they get into New York, because New York has that right to shelter law, they're walking into everyday small communities and saying, where's our house? Where's our food? Where's our clothing? Where's our pocket money? And the governor, the hoe of the governor of New York, is now pleading with JoJo. I don't know why New York's governor hoe is talking to JoJo when she should be basically kissing Barry's butt. Barry is the one who's running the government, not JoJo. It's the JoJo and Cammie show, so who's writing their script is Barry. Yeah, Barry's kicking back in his sweats, running the show. That's what he wanted. That's what he's got. And now, yeah, it's like we're here in Illinois, we're getting hit, and now Governor Pugsley Putzker is like asking, no more, no more. I'm like, Putzker, no. Instead of taking over Baboon, instead of taking over the field houses, the park districts, the empty schools, which is ironic because the guy got in because he was tightly involved with the Chicago's teachers union. Baboon, start putting them in the governor's hotels. Yeah, you guys wanted Illinois to be, Chicago to be a sanctuary city state. So, Putzker, put your money where your mouth is. You own a hotel corporation. Yeah, you don't have, your corporate office is located in Oak Brook, Illinois. So, yeah, that pays for a lot of taxes in DuPage County, not Cook County where Chicago is. So, yeah, let's put all the wetbacks that are heading for Illinois, instead of being thrown on a pad and a sleeping bag in a field house, why don't you just walk your tails over to the first Hyatt hotel you come across and tell them, hey, the governor said that we'd be taken care of, and he runs Hyatt hotels. So just go to one of his Hyatt hotels. And there are Hyatt hotels nationwide, so folks, why don't you just start parking them in there? Let Pugsley put his money where his mouth is. Now we know that some states are pushing through very fast. They're bending the laws to allow the wetbacks to get jobs. Well, FYI people, all these babies, whining babies that are like below the age of 40 are now demanding minimum wage to be at least $15, which really doesn't cut it, because Barry's goal was to screw up our economy by the stupid Enza flying in the window. So he's going to make it available for all these alleged South American and Central American refugees to work. Well, in that mess of alleged Central American, South American refugees, yeah, we've got people from the Big Red Sea, military-aged men in good condition, crossing our borders from the Big Red Sea and from various African countries and Middle Eastern countries. And the one thing that all these men from Africa and the Middle East, they're all of military age. They all are in excellent health. And they all pray 5 times a day. Yeah. Yeah. And right now, there have already been clashes in New York City because you've had pro-Israel groups holding a rally, and maybe like across the park or Plaza Street, you've got the people who support Hamas and Hezbollah, who are loyal to the Shiite version of praying 5 times a day. You have the Israel people on one side and the Shiite people on the other side of the street, and there's been clashes. Don't be surprised if you start seeing more and more harassment and incidents happening at various groups of people who are supporting Israel. Right now, we do know that Barry via JoJo set the precedent for the ransom price to release Americans out of the control of the Shiites pray five times a day people. To get one American out of their control, we have to release one of their nasty baddies out of our pokey system and put back into their bank accounts $1 billion. Yes. Last month, Barry released over $6 billion back to Iran. And they said that $6 billion could only be used for humanitarian purposes. Well, it's called creative accounting, folks. Okay, so you have a budget for X amount of dollars going to the hospital system in Iran, X amount of dollars going towards the schools, a percentage designated for agriculture. So what they're doing is they are raiding all the budgets for anything classified as humanitarian. They're focusing all the money that's like in Iran to go straight towards taking out the people who follow the Old Testament. And they'll say, oh, well, we're using that money for schools. They're actually replacing money that they siphoned off. So Iran is playing creative accounting to utilize the $6 billion that Barry released back to the extreme Shiite Ayatollahs. And during all of this, it's like they said, allegedly, where's JoJo? Where's Cammy Poo? I haven't seen any of them on any of these news sources. They're where is Barry hiding those two? I mean, there was a report that JoJo was interviewed by people pertaining to how he took and stored classified documents when he left the job of being a VP in January of 17. Okay? So they said that they've been talking to JoJo. They had an interview with him. But they haven't released the facts of the interview. And after that, no one else has been seeing anything of JoJo and the Cammy Poo. I mean, I'm waiting for the next episode of the JoJo and Cammy Poo show. But I guess Barry is too busy giving Blinken orders. Blinken basically is still trying to push down everybody's throats. He's out there saying that the $6 billion is still for humanitarian purposes, but Blinken is doing diddly squat because he's just sitting back and he's watching the show. And it's really ironic that the last big attack on the last time Boom Boom Booms were released over Tel Aviv was 1973. So we've got 80, 90, 03, 13, 20, 50 years ago. Basically, all of this was to basically on the anniversary of the last time the Pray 5 Times a Day people lost. And of course, they made sure it would happen on the Sabbath, on Shabbat. Because they know that in Israel, you've got the majority of the population follows the Torah and the Talmud very, very closely. So they don't have their radios on. They don't answer the phone. They're very prim and proper, following the do's and don'ts on how to behave on Shabbat. And so that's why they're saying, oh, it caught these people by surprise. Well, the 5 times a day people did it unintentionally because they know that anyone who's conservative, orthodox, ultra-orthodox, Hasidic, they're not paying attention to the outside world on those days, on holy days. It's people like that, me, like, yeah, okay, yeah, I go by the Old Testament, but I also see what's going on in the world, and I keep abreast because my grandfather made it a point. I mean, my mother used to tell me if I whined about anything, if I was in high school, oh, I don't have the design, say it, the Calvin Klein jeans, I want this. No, she's like, no. And no, you're not going to get them, so stop whining, you're not in a boxcar. I admit it, for a long time I didn't understand what she was saying, but it's true. I mean, a teenager, because I didn't have the latest fashion, that's really nothing to whine about. And somebody I was talking to last week, they're like, how do you make it? I mean, you're living with a chronic/terminal illness, and yet you just keep on going. And yeah, yesterday I went in for another procedure, and the doctor there is going, she's like, I see your test results. I see what you're going through. How do you do it? I'm like, I don't whine. I don't complain. I mean, there's other people with RSD, CRPS, and I see them whining and complaining all the time. And I just look at them and I say, shut up. You're not in a boxcar heading for a Zyklon B shower. And yeah, I've had a lot of horrible things happen to me. I was, boom, on the rocks. And even the people that were helping me get back on my feet, they're like, how can you keep such a positive attitude? And I'm like, well, hey, look at all the people that survived a death march in the cruel winter of 1945. If they can get their come out of a concentration camp with only rags, hey, I can do it. So people, stop bitching. Stop complaining. I mean, we do have to stand up. We do have to fight back because, yeah, it's the donkeys. It's the vote blue that no matter who people that are subsidizing all the stuff that's getting flown over and going boom on Tel Aviv and the other areas around Tel Aviv. So we've got to watch what's going on. And, yeah, we've got, it's like we've got to lock down our borders. We've got to bring back border security. We've got to tell the people who are running Hamas, no. That deal that Barry cut in September, which ironically was around the same time as the high holidays, like Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that was a one-time deal. You're not going to get any more money from the United States. We know what you're doing with the money. And I mean, even just no-brain Trudeau is backpedaling. He's now condemning the Shiites. But he's doing that to save his butt because he applauded a dude who wore Adolf's military uniform. I mean, that was a real stupid thing for him to do. And now he's trying to, he applauded a person who went after people who followed the Old Testament. And now he's going after another religious group who wants to come after everybody who follows the Old Testament. So just no-brain Trudeau. He's digging his hole wider and deeper. Maybe doesn't Trudeau realize that he's doing what the Ukrainians made people do back in the 1940s? Dig their own trench? But yes, we've got to start paying attention to more and more what's going on. We have to start calling and making noise at the blue people who are not the blue man, the donkey version of the Blue Man Group. We've got to start calling these people up and calling them out. And when they come home on the weekends, go sit in front of their houses. Go start sitting in front of their local offices in the state, in their constituency. I mean, I know where Dickwad Durbin's office is, and yeah, I've gone and scotch taped a note of advice on his door. Yeah. I've already confronted Delia Ramirez, but she was unable to comprehend what I was saying because her education was a piece of shit. Thank you, Baboon Johnson and the Chicago Teachers Union. One lady, and besides Amanda Grace, if you go and visit like Elon's chatterboard, there's a lady on there called Anita Padilla, Padilla, TV. I've met her on several occasions. She's wonderful. And on Elon's chatterboard, she's able to put stuff up that can't be broadcast on the regular news. So, yeah, it's Anita. And I'm spelling her last name again for you folks. Padilla, and then TV. She's put some really good stuff up on that chatterboard. On that excellent chatterboard. Thank you, Fiona, for suggesting that word to be used. Now, this mess that's going on over there in that area that's on the Mediterranean, a lot of things are going to come to light. They're saying it's like here, the guys in Tel Aviv, that military group is supposed to be so wonderful, so tech savvy. Well, people forget that from sundown on Friday nights till sundown on Saturday nights, basically that entire country disconnects from media. And that's why it was strategic to do it in that time frame. They are showing and they're having fits now because I guess, yeah, there was a music festival that happened during that weekend. And there were a lot of kids there, college kids, a lot of people there. And I guess they rounded up that group of people. They're now going through suburban towns, areas, housing developments, where the pray 5 times a day people went through first. And yeah, those guys believe that if you send a person who goes by the Old Testament across the Rainbow Bridge, it means they are extra blessed when it's their time to cross the Rainbow Bridge. And what I am hearing is that the guys who pray 5 times a day have gone to the old 1930s playbook of the Japanese army. And they are doing to the people who follow the Old Testament some of the same disgusting acts that the Japanese did to the Chinese and to the Europeans who were scattered among the Pacific Island countries. So not only are these 5-time-a-day guys following the ideology and the wish of Adolf, but they're using the 1930s Japanese playbook. And it's very disgusting. I hope people can understand what I'm saying. If you have questions, don't put it in the comments because it'll get yanked. Just email me. My email is down there. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. Yes, this upcoming Saturday, the 14th, is live broadcast Saturday. And hey, CO, I'm inviting you to join on the live broadcast. Let's see if you pop up. You have plenty to say in the comments. I'm giving you, hey, you can say what you want on the live broadcast. Hey, yeah, oh yeah, I was doing some work and yeah, I got stuff underneath my fingernails. But yeah, okay, people. Yeah, the next video goes up on the 12th. That's Thursday. Live broadcast on Saturday. Everybody have a good evening. Have a good Tuesday, Wednesday. Just relax, because it will get worse before it gets better. The atrocities are going to be revealed. These are the Shiites, not the Sunnis. The Sunnis are the people down in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the home of the two holy cities of the 5-time-a-day people. Saudi Arabia now may block entry into Saudi. I mean, the Shiites may no longer be able to come into Saudi to go do Hajj. And all people who pray 5 times a day are supposed to do the Hajj at least once in their lifetime. But since they are doing such awful, awful things, the family that runs in Saudi Arabia, and because they follow the Sunni side of things, may decide to block entry to anybody who is Shiite. And if they put that out, when they put that out, those people who pray 5 times a day are going to be like, oh poop, we really messed up. No poop, Sherlock. And they're going to withdraw really fast. But it's going to have to be the Saud family standing up for the country, the white flag with the blue star on it. The blue star flag country. It's going to take them to openly support, for the other idiots to run and put their tail between their legs. This is stuff that's just popping into my brain right now. But everybody, whatever faith you follow, please send cyber hugs. Send energy over to the people who follow the Old Testament, to give them energy and strength to, hey, and to remind them that if their ancestors can make it through the Adolf atrocities, they can make it through this now also. This is stuff from 100 years ago repeating itself. And if we can make it through that period of time, 90, 100 years ago, we can make it through now. So, okay, I'm going to get going. I want those of you who don't watch this at 4:30 today, yeah, it's 12:10. This is going to take an hour to upload. Go ahead and hit it at 175. Adjust the playback. Okay, see you later, folks.